Hello everybody, my name is Chloe and I am going to be doing a tutorial on RPG Maker MV. This is really like a crash course to using this software. RPG Maker MV, for those of you who don't know, is a software that has capabilities for, well, making RPGs. Very simplistic RPGs. It has famously been used to make games such as To the Moon. I have also used it to create my own RPG. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to get started today. Again, I'm working with the version which is RPG Maker MV. What we're going to do is we are going to go to File, New Project, and this is going to create our new project, and you can change your name if you'd like here. You can also change the title of the project itself. You can choose the folder where it's saved. I am personally just going to be saving in my tutorial file. Save it wherever it is that you want to save it. Now what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and it's going to copy everything. So what it's doing right now is it's copying all the audio, all the background music, every kind of tile set and image that comes with the base game. This is going to take it a couple of minutes. Don't be alarmed that it generally takes a little bit of time. This is normal. Go ahead and just find another way to kind of pass the time here. When it finally finishes loading, it is going to open up. And so what it's going to show you is a basic sort of overview of your world, and it's going to give you your base character. The first thing that I'm going to kind of show you in RPG Maker is your system. So if you go up there and you click on the gears, that is going to show you your overall database for the game. It'll show you your different actors, so you can add as many kind of player characters as you want, or you can add as few as you want as well. It even lets you set it at 0 for some reason. We can set it as 1. We'll just leave the default as is. This is how you can change the classes. So you can do a hero, you can do a warrior, a mage, a priest, and as you can see here, they've got different kind of character traits that you can establish as well. So for example, the hero can use light armor and general armor, but the priest, you can have the priest be able to use magic armor. So these are the kind of traits that you can set right here in the database menu. These are an overview of skills here. Just we can see a bunch of different skills available. This is the formula that it uses in the base game to attack. I would not recommend changing this formula. If you are going to change it, I would make sure to make a copy of it somewhere so that you can just go ahead and save the functionality in case you ever needed it later. And then as you can see, there's different kinds of things that you can do: spark, fire, guard, heal. You can change so many different kinds of things. You can change the success rate for something. You can change how many times an action needs to repeat. You can change the scope, so how many enemies that it's going to impact. And then this is your items menu. Again, you can kind of customize these as much or as little as you want. This is the weapons menu, armor menu, enemies menu. So as you can see here, we've got a bunch of different enemies. And then we've got a bunch of different troops here. So these are the actual kind of battles that you can implement in the game using those from the enemy section. Now, if we go over to our states, that just kind of is an overview of states: sleep, poison, whatnot. Now for this section of the tutorial, this is just where you can look at your animations and get those changed if you want to. We are not going to be playing with that right now. This is an overview of your tile sets that you can use for the game. As you can see, there's a bunch of different tile sets that you can use. And what I'm actually going to do... This is also the overall system, so you can change, for example, the title of your project. You can even change the name of the currency that you want to use. If you want to use a side view battler system, you can use that as well. If you want to change the type of magic skills that are possible. If you want to change where the player character starts. If you want to move him around, you can do that here. If you want to change the title screen, you can do that here. There are a bunch of other kind of things that you can change for just within this menu alone, which is why it's one of the most important menus overall in the RPG Maker system. You can change the theme, and then you can apply these characteristics to the game and move on. This is just some things on types, which are a little bit higher level from this tutorial than I would like. You can change basic statuses. So for example, HP can now be health, just in general. You can change it back. You can hit OK and see we changed our character's starting point, and there he is now. So now what I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to draw using maps here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna use this. This is the little thing that we will want to select up here in the corner in order to manipulate our maps. And so we're going to go ahead and we can kind of draw, we can kind of create whatever we want to here for this overview map. This is the pencil tool, so it just allows you to make different things with pencils. You can use this tool to fill the entire screen. It's almost like the paint can tool that you'd find on Microsoft Paint. This adds shadows to a certain area. If you want to do that for dramatic effect or special effect, if you want to delete it, you just draw back over it with the pencil again. This is how you zoom in on your map, and then this is how you zoom out. And then let's say that you just want to reset it to normal. This displays the map at a 1:1 size. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to keep drawing our overview map. And then that's how we do that. Let's say that we finished this. We've finished our overworld map, which is great. But now what we need to do is we need to create like a map of where our player character can go to and where you can start off the game, because it's a little bit weird to start off your game on an overworld map. So we're going to go over here to this lower menu, and we are going to go ahead and we are going to hit new, and this is going to create a new map for us. On this, we can kind of change the name, so we can do the name of the town. We can change the width and the size overall of the map itself, so we can make a pretty big map if we wanted to. We can make it like 50 by 50. I believe the biggest map size is 256 by 256. If you want to, you can add a parallax image in the background, which I actually recommend kind of trying to experiment with, because you never know what kind of cool things you can make. You can disable dashing, you can cancel the ability to run, you can also choose a background music to be played when you're walking throughout the town. And then you can also adjust the tile sets. So as you can see there are different types of tile sets. We'll want to be sure to do the outside. You can choose what kind of enemies we encounter. So we can encounter a bat, for example, if we wanted to. We're not going to do that. Okay, as you can see here, we kind of screwed up on making our map. So that is fine. You can go ahead and fix it. So we made our height 10. We can put the height as 30 now. And then we can go ahead and we can make our map. So one thing that I like to suggest with map making is definitely try to not make things in perfect kind of squares. Create kind of asymmetrical areas and maps. Don't just make a pond that's a giant square. Give it edges, give it round corners, give it kind of a weirder appearance, just so that it makes it look a little bit more realistic, a little bit more natural. And then as you can kind of go throughout after you finish building the base, you can add on different kind of details to sort of bring the world to life here. What we need to do here now, we've made our world. What we need to do now is we need to hopefully make a door. So you're going to go ahead and you're going to click, you're going to left click on it, and you're going to go to actually quick event creation. This is the fastest and easiest way to do it. And you will want to go ahead and just say, for now, we have no other map to go to at the overworld, so we'll do town. And you can click on the image to kind of customize the door that you want to use. You'll hit OK. Now, what exactly does the quick event creation do? Let's go ahead and take a look at the code here. So first things first is it's going to be playing this sound effect, which is the sound of a door opening, and that's essentially what it comes pre-programmed to do. You can change that sound if you want. This right here is the movement for the door animating. So this is how you would animate the door opening. This is showing kind of the player moving through, the player moving to a different place, and then the transferring. So that is just kind of an overview on what the creation doors does. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to make just a basic in. So again, I'm just kind of experimenting with my sense of space, experimenting with what kind of things that I want to create here. Don't just make random spaces willy-nilly, you know, don't make something that looks awkward for the sake of being awkward. If you kind of take a look at this back area here, I tried to make a small corner for storage. Perhaps when you're making an inn, for example, the innkeeper wouldn't want his clients to be seeing sort of the mess in the back. So try and make things asymmetrical, but definitely add a sense of purpose to when you're making spaces. Great, so now that our inn is finished, I am just going to go back to our main menu, our main map here, and I am just gonna correct where that door transfer goes so that we make sure that it goes inside the inn. Okay, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy and paste my character. We're gonna move him into the town here, just so that he can kind of go ahead and move around. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go up and we are going to play test the actual game. So you click on that big green button to play test, and it opens up a small window and it's showing you kind of everything that you need to look at. We see our game title and we've seen the opening screen that we've created here. We click new game. And as you can see, we've made our map a little bit too big here. So I forgot to fill in a space. That is easily fixable. We can kind of go through here. As you can see, there are some animated tile sections. The water, for example, is something that is animated that's incredibly beautiful to look at. Makes it look a little bit more vibrant, so you see that here. And then we can kind of see our inn and everything. Let's even go inside our inn. So we're inside our inn with all of our characters here, and we're able to just kind of run around. But oh no, look at what I forgot to do. I forgot to add in something where we have to leave. So we need to get that fixed. So you'll just go back in, and what we're going to do is we're going to go right into our inn here. And we'll do a quick event creation and a transfer. And we will go ahead and we will make that transfer to the outside door of the inn. And so what that transfer essentially does is that when you touch it, when the player character touches it, it's going to make him transfer to the outside. So now let's go ahead and let's try and play our game, and let's see here. We can go around. We've escaped the clutches of the inn. We are no longer trapped inside of it. So we've done exactly what we've needed to do here. Now let's go ahead and use the character generator. Let's say that you don't want to use the base game. So you can go ahead and you can use the character generator. What we're going to be looking at here is a bunch of different options for customization. You can change skin color, the chin shape. You can change a lot of things, including the hair. These are not the base colors, just to let you know, that come with the game, and these are not the base clothes that come with the game. These are things that I've modded into my own game. So if you don't like any of the things that the base game comes with, you can absolutely feel free to change it at any time. Go ahead and look around on forums and different websites. See if you can't find something else to use that you're going to want to use and make unique in your own game. There's definitely those sorts of options to do. I'm not covering that in this tutorial. So we've just gone ahead and we've made ourselves a little player character, and then you'll want to be sure to export all of the files if you want to use them. So you'll be sure to export it. And then when we go back into our actors menu here, we can change it. We can make sure that the hero is now here, and then he is going to be a playable character in this game. Now, let's go ahead and kind of move on to another really basic aspect of RPG Maker. Let's go ahead and let's make some battling. So let's figure out how to kind of program a battle, how to get that in there with our base game. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to create a basic kind of character, like an evil overlord kind of character. We're just going to pick this guy from the base game. You, of course, can make your own character if you want to do this. And then in the contents, we'll go ahead and we'll hit show text. And we'll click on that. And we'll go ahead and we can type in whatever it is that we want to type in. Okay, and then in this menu, you can do a lot of different things. If you wanted to, you could change the HP of your characters. You can make it so that he gives us money or takes away money. You can make it so that he teleports us to another place when we talk to him. There are a bunch of different ways that you can kind of change things in the event commands. You can change the screen. Maybe he can control the weather. Really whatever you want to do. But what we're going to want to focus on here, since he is our villain and he is trying to start a fight with us, we are going to want to use the battle processing. So we'll go ahead and we will click on the battle processing here. And we can go ahead and we can use some of these kind of base characters that came with it. We're going to go ahead and just pick the bats. We can choose to win, escape, lose. You can program it so that someone can't lose and then it's an automatic game over. This is just kind of, I'm just going to program in kind of some things that he will say if we win. So if we win, he will go ahead and he will give us money. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to play the game here. Okay, and so we're fighting. We're just kind of using the stuff that comes with the base game. But see, if we beat him, then guess what happens? He keeps giving us money and he keeps trying to fight us if we talk to him again. We're gonna wanna fix this. So one way that you're gonna fix this is by using control switches. Now control switches, I'm gonna be honest, are quite frankly a complete pain, and sometimes they may not even work depending on how complicated you choose to make your project. But what we're gonna do here is we're gonna add a control switch, and we're going to add something here so that if we win this game, he will not continue to, if we win this fight, I'm sorry, he will not continue to bother us. So we're just going to say battle 1, for example. And then you'll want to create a new event page, add battle 1. And then this way, we can't ever return to starting this fight with him. For example, he's going to say, leave me alone. Now, this is a battle 1 switch, so he's going to say the same thing for everything. If you lose the battle and you want him to say something else, you want him to keep mocking you when you talk to him, you can go ahead and you can do switch. So that is how you can go ahead and fix that. Now let's go ahead and set up a shop key, because I'm sure you're going to want to be able to buy and sell items throughout your journey, whatever it is that your characters are doing. So we're going to go ahead and create a shop key. Now for shop processing, the shop processing menu kind of works a little interestingly, so you can go ahead and you can add different items. You can set different prices if you want to. You can make the entire store purchase only if that's something that you wanted to do. If you don't want to be able to sell things to characters for whatever reason, you can also set that. So that is a possibility that you can do here. You can change the prices, the natural prices of items in the items menu, again, back in your old system menu. Now, another thing, and pretty much the last thing that you'll want to do in order to really make a basic RPG Maker game, I'm not talking like top of the line RPG Maker game, but I'm talking like a game that functions like a normal RPG. So we're going to want to go ahead and we're going to want to make a quest. So let's go ahead and let's make this little boy here. And so he wants us to go and find his cat for him. And that is going to require us implementing some switches. And it is also going to require us to implement something known as the conditional branch. You can also implement something where you can agree to the quest. So let's say, for example, you don't want to do the quest right now, or you want to give your players the option to say yes or no. You can absolutely program that into the game. So we've started the quest here. So we've implemented a switch to indicate that we have started the quest. Now let's go to the conditional branch section on our event command menu, and we can go ahead and we can make a new switch. You can also add other things. So for example, if you want his cat to be an item, you can do that. I generally don't recommend doing that. I think that simplicity wise, it's best to just kind of keep it on switches. So we'll go ahead and we'll just say found cat. So we found his cat. Great. Excellent. You can create an else branch. So if you want him to say something else, if you haven't found his cat yet, you can add that in there. I'm just going to continue to kind of program the rest of this. So if we find his cat, he will give us 5,000 rupees. He is a little rich boy indeed. And then we can kind of program this to say quest ended, so that we don't get the quest to repeat itself over and over again. And again, if we want something to end, if we don't want to return to it, be sure to go up to the new event page, create a new event, and set it to that switch so that we don't ever go back to that, or so that he doesn't keep trying to give his 5,000 rupees for giving him his cat, which we only gave him back one time. So that is something that we can do here. Now what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to create that cat. The cat is going to be triggered to appear on the quest started section. We're not going to have the cat appear right away. You can have it appear right away on the map if you want. We will go ahead and add in the switch, so found cat. So when we found the cat, that cat is going to disappear. That cat will no longer be on the map. We're not going to be able to pick up the cat multiple times and things like that, or that cat's just going to not be there, which is what we'll need. So let's go ahead and let's play test this cat here. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk to this little boy here. We'll agree to the quest. We've gone and we've obtained his cat. And so he said that we found our feline friend, but did you notice how some of the dialogue here was awkward? It was acting like he was asking us to find his cat again. We are going to want to fix that. And again, we're going to want to fix that using switches. So just so that he doesn't keep asking us to find his cat and we don't keep getting that choice, we will want to go ahead and we'll make a new event page that says quest started. And then we'll go ahead and save, and then that should work properly. And as we can see, as we're completing this quest, everything is working properly. He doesn't keep asking us to do this. And then just before we end this tutorial here, I'm just showing you guys the shop works as intended. If you sell things back to this guy, he will buy them at a reduced price. And so then that is kind of a basic overview on how to get started in RPG Maker. You're not going to be able to do anything extensively complicated with this, but I hope that this tutorial was still helpful for you. Now, I want to give kind of a few last thoughts on RPG Maker MV specifically. So one thing that I want to just advise you, don't buy it at full price ever. RPG Maker typically retails from around $80, but there are frequent sales throughout the year that can cut that price down to $25, which is around what I paid for the software. You will find it on sale during the winter, and I believe it's usually on sale during the Steam summer months as well. So definitely don't buy this software at full price if you don't want to. If you don't want to drop $80 on it, totally understandable. If you want to add in more content or do more complicated things, definitely make use of more tutorials. YouTube is going to be your best friend. However, there are online tutorials and online forums that you can access as well. But just for the sake of simplicity and just for the sake of time, rather than combing through the forums, go to YouTube. I recommend SR Dude. His tutorials are very short, sweet, and to the point. He puts together multiple kind of playthroughs. He puts together multiple walkthroughs, and he puts together a lot of playlists as well. And you can check out how to do various things such as common events, which I did not cover in this piece. Driftwood Gaming is also another excellent option. Echo607, she is also an excellent developer, and she is an expert with RPG Maker. She has a lot of tutorials as well, and she is a particularly excellent one on parallax mapping. So if you watch me make this map and you think that it sucks and you want to use your own artwork or you want to make a more complex dynamic map, she has excellent tutorials on parallax mapping that you can check out as well. And then one last thing, some of you might be asking, why choose MV? I mean, why choose MV when there are so many things by the RPG Maker brand? And my short and simple answer is that it is the newest version and it has an improved user interface and capabilities. You can absolutely use something like VX Ace or a cheaper version. However, keep in mind that the functions may have changed, so you might not be able to do as much, as well as the look of the game may be different. And additionally, if you were to use something prior to VX Ace, good luck finding tutorials, good luck finding like a lot of help with that. To my knowledge, there's not a lot of resources out there still for that one, so that is just something to keep in mind. Without further ado, I'm going to bring this tutorial to a close. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that this was a helpful tool to you. I apologize for going a little bit fast here in parts, but I did want to make this a bit of a crash course, something that you can pick up on really easy. I hope that this is something that you're going to be able to use to create the game of your dreams. Thanks so much for watching, everybody.